Hello everyone, Justin from Out of the Basement here to bring you another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. For once, it's actually me in the pilot seat doing an action figure review. Haven't done one of these in a while, but I recently found the entire wave at my local Walmart. They finally got some new Black Series, so we're going to be taking a look at this BO-KATAN here. This is, of course, from the Mandalorian in the, standard, this is standard packaging now. It's standard packaging now. I don't really want to call this new packaging anymore. This is now the reg. Got the Black Series logo up here. Wonderful looking figure in the window. Cannot wait to crack it open. Star Wars The Mandalorian BO-KATAN Kryze with the orange color scheme, of course. And you got that wonderful side art of BO-KATAN herself. Back here, you got that same art. Do have a read up on there. Feel free to pause that. You got the Black Series logo up there. Number 10 in the Mandalorian subline. Orange line continues. Black Series, side window, top window. Let's crack it open. First off, we'll start with the accessories, and there are 4 accessories if you include the helmet. Of course, the helmet is removable. Looks pretty amazing. I really like the Night Owl Mandalorian T-visor. This helmet looks to have pretty great paint application to it. I really like the different darker blue and the more like muted lighter blue. And of course, the front looks pretty amazing. There's some wear and tear on here, some battle damage, if you will. Really like this chrome up here for the rangefinder and the black for the tip there, the scope. And of course it does articulate. The jetpack looks pretty darn good. I really like this gray, but you also have that nice blue, and it just has a bit of a shine to it. It looks very shiny. And they did a really good job of the blue as well, and it looks good with the mold and the detail and everything. I really like this sculpt for the jetpack. Unfortunately, there are no peg holes, so you cannot put in those little flame pieces from either Boba Fett or one of your Marvel Legends. And of course, we have our Mando blasters, which are just gray plastic, but at least they did paint the handle brown on these, on both of them, of course. But I also just really like these Mando blaster pistol. I really like the sculpt. It's a very different looking blaster. I kind of wish they would have done something a little different other than the dull gray, but at least they did paint the handle brown on both of the blasters. And here is Lady BO-KATAN out of the packaging, and I gotta say already, I am pretty blown away by this awesome looking figure. I am pretty hyped right now. She has great detail and articulation. But first, as always with my reviews, we gotta take a look at that photoreal head. You know what, guys? I want to say that this is one of the best photoreals in the entire line that they have done. I think the likeness to Katie Sackhoff is spot on. I don't know if I'm in the minority. I hope I'm in the majority, but this looks like one of the best ones that they have done so far. The shine is gone. Any shine that is there left on the figure makes it look natural. It's not overdone like the Moff Gideon was. You know, BO-KATAN's nice red, orangish hair. They did a really good job on the headband metallic piece, and there's even a little bit of detailing on the headband there. And I like that this seems like there's some space between the hair right here and the headband right there. They just did a really, really good job on that face. I think, at least my copy looks spot on. That's a great photoreal head. But coming in to take a closer look at the detail and the paint apps, I think there is a very, very good variety of paint here. There's also a good amount of battle damage and scuffing down here on the shin pads. There's a little bit of wear and tear there. A lot of good mold. I really like the chest plate armor here. On the side, you have the Night Owl faction of Mandos. Other side, you have the same insignia there. There's the jetpack again. I already showed you the helmet earlier, but we'll take a look at that again. Just great detail and paint all around. One thing that's kind of popping out at me right now is this leather for the holsters. It almost looks a little too bright, or perhaps a bit too red or orangish. It's kind of just popping out at me versus the rest of the figure, you know, I'm kind of going to say here that they should have perhaps gone with a darker color for the leather and just like the pockets and all this, which is great mold. And there's actually some nice little belt detail right there. While there's some nice silver here for the buckles on the back and the front, I think this holster and leather area would have benefited from either a wash all over the leather or perhaps just a darker paint color for this leather. I think that's my only thing negative to say about paint and detail so far. You kind of have a bit of that same color up here. The jetpack just pegs in and out like so. Coming in to take a closer look at articulation, this thing is great with articulation as well. The head has those dumbbell head back and forth joint, and it's like, it's super far. It's more than a lot of the other Black Series figures, I feel like. She can look way up. She can look pretty far down. Of course, goes all around. You get that really nice head tilt. This is really great head articulation for sure. And the helmet actually does not hinder any of that in the slightest. You get great tilt. With the helmet, she can look pretty far up, and even with the helmet, she can look a pretty good distance down. So the helmet does not actually hinder the articulation either. Right off the bat, you guys, she has the butters. You can ever so slightly see it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to show that a figure has butterfly joints, but maybe you can ever so slightly see it in there. So you get that crazy, like, in and out articulation, which is fantastic. The arms rotate around. You get a little stiff here, a little bit more than a 90-degree angle, and then it also cuts down like that. Also rotates at the lower arm. Both hands are trigger finger hands. They can rotate all around, and both hands have the vertical hinge. A dual wielding blaster character with dual wield vertical hinges. Thank goodness. Up here by the chest plate, this lower piece right here, you can kind of see where the cut is, where you get that ab crunch about that far back and about that far down. Bends at the waist about that far down, about that far back. The legs kick out about that far, go that far back. Really good motion here as far as articulation, splits even, and the lower leg even rotates on the bottom half of the leg. Foot goes down that far up, and of course you got that ankle pivot. Fits right in there snug. If I'm being honest, guys, I think articulation gets my full satisfaction. The head has some great articulation on it, and it is not hindered by the helmet. Both hands are trigger finger hands, and they both have the vertical hinge. She has butterfly joints. They stuck with the single jointed knee articulation to hide the joint, and I am pretty satisfied with the articulation. Let's go ahead and make some comparisons. Here she is next to the Beskar Mandalorian. Let me go ahead and throw Grogu in there real quick. Cara Dune from the finale, Moff Gideon, the 2020 Imperial Stormtrooper, and of course, if you wanted to do some finagling and finessing, here's some Clone Wars stuff. Right next to Ahsoka Tano from Season 7. I like the way it looks. However, I would still totally be down for a Clone Wars look of BO-KATAN, the Mando loyalist who was under her command during the Siege of Mandalore. And then looking really, really good together, we have Sabine Wren. And you know I had to do it to him. There is a reason they gave her butterfly joints, and she looks absolutely awesome with the Darksaber. All in all, guys, this gets my definite seal of approval. It's a great looking figure. My only complaint is the leather buckles and the holsters. I think the coloring just could have really used a wash or simply a darker shade of paint. Other than that, all of the other details are exactly how you would expect them to be. The articulation is grade A and she just simply looks very satisfying on the shelf. So let me know what you guys think of this figure in the comments down below. I gave it a pretty positive review, but I think it's very deserving of this positive review. This has been one of my favorite releases of the year so far. Easily one of my favorites of the year so far. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I am Justin from Out of the Basement, and we will see you guys in the next video.